Hello and welcome back to Seriously Good TV. We are, as you can see, our headquarters, Braintree Campus Colchester Institute. Our TV studio is over there, and we are finally back. Yes, finally. We've currently had a bit of ups and downs due to something called coronavirus that's kind of ruined our plans, but we're finally here and we're ready to go with this new year, new us. We've rescheduled everything, everything is going a lot better, and hopefully no more lockdowns. Because the lockdowns, you know, they gave us a lot of time, especially for me. I've currently now been part of this college now, which is great stuff. I love the college, it's been great work for me. I've just really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. But it's time now for me to less be in front of a camera, which you're used to, and more go behind the scenes with my college, which means that some things have to change. Some new people need to come along and take my mantle. For example, there are a lot of new people that come on, such as Georgia. Georgia is one of the new people that have come along, and oh, speak of a devil, there she is. Hello guys, how are you guys doing? Lucas?
I'm doing fine. I've just showed her around the STEM Innovation Centre.
Brilliant, lovely stuff. So guys, this is Georgia. Georgia, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I started at Serious Young Performers, which then Nick introduced me to Seriously Good TV. So yeah, and this is my first time on camera, so.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you're holding it a lot better than I would probably, so fair play to you. This is excellent. Georgia, we're probably going to, I assume, take you through the TV studio. This is probably what you guys are also going to witness. We're going to go through the TV studio. You're going to experience some of the new things that probably most people do. Going to go through the auto cue, going to get filmed on camera a little bit more. Kind of passing the mantle on to you now. So without further ado, let's just go and experience it, yeah? Lovely stuff. Okay, so this is the TV studio. I'll keep it brief with you. These are one of the seats that you'll probably be sitting on when we're doing our live shows. These are all the cameras, and these are all the lights. You'll understand how this all works when we do a live show, the rehearsals and whatnot. You will learn about all of this. But this is your place of work. The next job, pretty much, of doing this process is looking at the next VT.
So what's a VT?
Well, I'll come and show you. Okay, so this is your gear that you'll be equipped with when you're set over there on the live show. We have your microphone here, which will be, you know, with Chloe as well, your co-host, which you'll be seeing after the VT. And we've already got one attached to us because of this behind the documentary kind of thing as well. And we also have your earpiece here, which is, of course, plugged into your ear. And then the guys over here who will be running the show can also whisper really weird things into your ear while you're trying to talk as well, and also focus on the subject, and it's kind of a panic. But you'll be fine. So, let's get you geared up and ready to go. Okay, so you've got all your gear on you now, and now is to the next test pretty much. Over there, as you can see, there's the auto cue. Now, the auto cue is a bit of a challenge for everyone. It's because everyone thinks it's a lot easier than it is. They're just like, oh, it's just reading it. Unfortunately, it's more of a challenging feat than that. You've got to give your personality across, and you've got to not mess up any words, because then it just goes away. So, you'll hopefully get it after a couple of rounds. Most people do. And yeah, by the live TV show, you'll smash it. So, let's go give it a try.
Hello, I'm Georgia, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Seriously Good TV Season 2. Hello, I'm Georgia, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Seriously Good TV Season 2. Hiya, I'm Georgia, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Seriously Good TV Season 2. Coming up in today's show, we're going to be looking behind the scenes at how I got on with. We're going to be looking behind the scenes at how I got on with some seriously good presenter training. Then we'll be taking a look at the world of dentistry, and just to warn you, you might not. Taking a look at the world of dentistry, and finally, we'll be back in the studio for an interview with our special guest, Brian Harvey. So first up, let's take a look at how I get on in presenter training. Guys, roll the VT.
So this has been the end of your little practice run through. How do you find it all?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool and really good. It was like nice to kind of experience it and like, yeah.
Yeah, was it like stressful at any points? Because I remember that's how I felt on my
Yeah,
first day.
definitely. Like throughout, there's quite like bits where I was quite nervous, especially like the auto cue.
Yeah,
was like quite
it is
nerve-wracking, but it was very exciting to like kind of do it all. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. That's amazing. That's what we love to hear around here at Sirius. Honestly, you'll make a perfect person as a live presenter. So that's awesome to hear. So of course that means that I'll hand over my I don't know what keys, mantle over to you to now take over as the live presenter as well with Chloe. But yeah, that's it for me now. So I'll be going somewhere else now.
Yeah, we thank you for all your services, and I'm sure you'll be missed. However, it is back to the control room. Okay, with Elliot now gone and me now in charge, hopefully we're live in the studio, so back to the studio.
And here is Georgia joining me for a bit of socially distanced TV presenting. Welcome to the show, everyone, and welcome, Georgia. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm quite tired at the moment.
Yeah.
Very, very tired. Okay, so Georgia, can you please do the honours and introduce the next VT?
With pleasure. Next up, Elliot. Remember him? Taking a look at the world of dentistry. Boys, play the VT.
Hi guys, I am at the Oracle Dental Group today and we are going into the academic dental clinic because today we're going to be doing a lot of dental work and looking at some sort of anatomy of some animal. I think that's what I've been told I'm doing today. It's kind of just see what happens, really, you know. I'm going to be going and talking to some people about their work, what they're going to be doing as a dentist. I'm also going to be seeing the work that they are doing in there as well. I don't know yet, and when I turn my back, I'm probably going to see it. I'm pretty sure from the directions that I'm being told. So I'm just going to double check where I am, and I'm going to just see what's in here. Oh, lovely. Oh. That's great. What even? I don't even know what that is.
I think that's a pig's head, mate.
Oh my god. Oh, this is going to be very fun then. I can't wait to dive in. Luckily, I'm not going to be doing anything, but I'll just observe as people begin cutting up these lovely pig heads. So if we go back to when we started to devise Seriously Good TV, one of the aspects we were keen to look at was various careers for young people like ourselves. We thought a good place to start was dentistry. This is because we had the opportunity, thanks to Nick, whose dad was a dentist and could enable us to delve deeper into the profession. What we wanted to investigate was the broad range of jobs that are inside the dental world. As such, we were invited to come and visit the Oracle Dental Group here in Colchester. This particular establishment is not only a thriving dental practice, but also has a dental school, and this is the aspect that we are here to look at more closely. Not only will we meet Nick, the dentist and lecturer, but we will meet his students, Hoda, Simona, Andres, and Dip. As you will see, dentistry is a diverse workplace, and even once starting down a particular path, there are plenty of opportunities to learn and develop in additional and/or alternative qualifications. So I'm here with Nick, and as you can tell by his outfit, he's wearing the black, which means he is of the elite here. So Nick, tell me about yourself. How did you get here, and just introduce yourself.
I'm Nick. I work in the surgery. I've worked here for many years. So I qualified as a dentist nearly 30 years ago. I've worked here as a dentist for those 24 years. I worked somewhere else just for a few years. And then subsequently I did some other jobs. So I went and did further master's training in a university in London, and then have come back and then taken up additional dentists working in surgery, and then teaching new dentists as well, who either work here or dentists who come in specially for training sessions at the surgery. Yeah. So these training sessions behind us that is going on, what are they doing today? So this is a training in what's called a Master's in Science in something called Periodontology. And periodontology is all about gum treatment. So when you go to your dentist and you have, they say you have some problems with your gums, you have gum disease or something similar, they might call it, then you have to have a certain styles of treatment carried out. So what we're looking at here is the sort of in-depth bit. They're really focusing on one area of dentistry in particular, and how we would treat gums. But that's only a small bit of what dentists do in their everyday to-day work. I was wondering this earlier when I first walked in here, and that's why is it a pig's head? Why is out of every animal? Why is it a pig's head?
Because it's really raised up so much.
Basically, probably my colleague said as well the same, that the tooth and all teeth are quite similar to the persons as well. But I think it's even from the money-wise, it's cheaper as well, is it?
Oh yeah.
So you can get it quite easy, and it's not hard to get the pig's heads as well.
So, other people here, do you know them closely?
The people on my course?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stop this while I'm doing
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
it's
Yeah,
just
I'll try and keep it quick too, so we can keep
no,
doing.
don't worry.
So what
Yeah,
we need to do now,
we've been doing the course together for a year and a half now, so
where
we
have
know
you
each
gone
other
round?
quite well,
You
I
went round
guess.
this tree?
Yeah, that's
And
good.
Russ and I work in Norwich together, so we travel up together,
yeah.
and these guys
gone
are
round
in
there.
London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
Just on that one too.
So what are you doing course-wise right now?
This is the Masters in Periodontology, so I'm a dentist in Norwich, and then doing this once every couple of weeks we come up here.
How do you get started with this? How do you go, this is something I want to do? How do you figure that out?
It's probably something you probably get into general dentistry
Yeah.
from dental school, and then you kind of pick an area you're really good at, really interests you.
Is dental school like a university?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you just get the qualifications,
Yep.
go to university
Yeah.
for a couple of years.
And then come out, practice, maybe work for a few years.
So what are we doing this time then?
So basically, for the last hour or so, we've been trying to raise flaps. When you do surgery, you basically just cut through a little bit of the gum, you raise it to exactly see what's going on underneath.
Okay.
And then once you've cleaned, once you've done whatever you want, you suture it back. So this is what we're practicing right now. We're just trying to
right.
put
Yep.
everything that we've just sort of lifted up, we just want to put it back
Put it
together.
back. Okay, perfect.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So guys, that is me finished over here. We've seen all the pigs be dissected over their gums. We've questioned everyone. We met Nick. We've had a really good time here, you know, being educated on all this stuff. And yeah, nothing less than back to studio and let's see the interview.
Now, wow, that was really interesting. But I'll never look at pigs the same way again. Now, here to join us in the studio is Brian Harvey, who's here to talk to us a bit today about dentistry.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to come and talk. It's certainly an education watching that, isn't it? It does put you off your sausages.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so hi, welcome to the studio. It's great to have you here. If you wouldn't mind kicking off this interview with just give us like a quick rundown of what a day in the life of a dentist would be like.
Day in the life of a dentist has changed dramatically over the past 15 months, especially with COVID, because what we used to do, we haven't been able to do for a long time. So we've only been doing emergency treatments probably up until about Christmas. We're now getting back into carrying out routine dentistry. So routine dentistry, you probably had your checkup, you have your teeth looked at, you may have needed to have them scaled and polished, you have some x-rays done, you may need to have a filling, and the dentist will discuss with you what type of filling you're going to have done. Sometimes you're going to need to have a crown or root canal done. Now, of course, some people want to look like Rylan, and they will have this wonderful white smile. So you may opt to have some whitening done or some veneers. So there's an awful lot that can be done. Dentures, when I first qualified, and you'll probably notice that I'm quite old. I qualified over 50 years ago, but we used to make full dentures regularly and partial dentures. Now, this generation, there's nowhere near as many dentures being made. One of the other things that I used to do when I was in full-time practice was what's called maxillofacial surgery. Now, at the lowest level, that's taking out simple wisdom teeth, but it could also involve, I used to treat patients who've been involved in road traffic accidents, had a punch-up in the pub, or sadly things like a chainsaw going through part of their face, which is pretty scary when you see what it's like on a pig's head. When you see it on a real human being, you know, it is really scary. But probably one of the most rewarding things that we used to do was what's called orthognathic surgery, which is where we move the top jaw or the bottom jaw, or sometimes both, because they're either too far forward or too far back. And basically, you're splitting the jaw, you're moving it backwards and forwards, and then you're using Meccano to put it back together. but the psychological benefit that that has for patients is amazing. You know, it does transform their life for some of them. The worst thing, of course, is the oral cancers. And sadly today we're seeing more of oral cancers because of smoking. And you know, this can have a huge effect on people, and you know, it is very sad. And that's why it's very important to go to the dentist early, so that you can make sure that these things get diagnosed early.
Yeah, of course, that is so interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like, it really does like kind of change, like, you know, you've got your routine dentistry, and then you've also kind of got, there's a whole other thing behind it. So like on that, like what are like the kind of positives and negatives of the industry?
The positive things, I think, over the years that I've been in practice have been the improvements in oral health. That there's been huge improvements. We're not seeing, as I said earlier, so many dentures having to be made. So there's been some very positive things there. We still need to have more fluoride in the water. Most people are using fluoride toothpaste. I mean, your generation, a lot of you will never have had a filling done. So the first thing you might have to have done is a tooth extracted if you're having some orthodontic treatment. And of course, you know, a lot of you will have experienced train tracks. It's mostly done. Yes, you've got a lovely smile there, but it's going to be worth it, isn't it? It's 18 months of hell. You know, you're picking food out of it, but it's going to be, the end result is going to be so good, isn't it?
Yeah. So what, like negatives or like?
The negatives, unfortunately, still in a lot of areas, there is rampant caries, decay in children's teeth. The number of general anaesthetics that are having to be carried out for children to have teeth removed is horrendous. The psychological bill, you know, the effect on the children, on the parents, and of course on the economy. You know, money is having to be spent on that. So really that is the huge negative at the moment, is trying to improve that. And of course the other thing now that we've got at the moment, because of COVID, is there's a lot of unmet need. We haven't been able to see patients, so there's a lot of patients out there needing treatment.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, being a dentist sounds obviously quite stressful and very distressing, like a lot of the time. What do you think kind of, as a dentist, would make you a good dentist or help you persevere with certain situations? What makes a good dentist?
What makes a good dentist? First and foremost, empathy and sympathy. You've got to be able to relate to patients. You've got to understand them. Now, I hate heights. Now, that's totally illogical. You know, that building has been there for 100 years, yet I am on the top of the castle thinking, is it going to fall down? And that's why I understand why patients can be very nervous about going to the dentist. You know, it's irrational in a way, because we don't hurt you most of the time. So empathy. But the other very important thing is communication. Now, you know, I've been talking a lot, but we also got to be able to listen to people. You know, the big secret about being a successful dentist, doctor, is listening to people. There was a physician back in the 1800s, William Osler, who said if you listen to patients, 90% of the time you will get the diagnosis. If you don't listen, that's when the problems can arise. Communication, good communicator, sympathy, empathy, and being willing to get down to the ground. If you're treating a child, you know, you've got to get down to their level. I was very lucky. I used to treat, and I still do on some of my Saturday mornings, some special needs patients, and you know, that's really so satisfying when you can take somebody who's been very nervous and get them through and get a filling done or whatever is necessary.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sounds good. So is there any like iconic or really good memories that you remember from?
I mean, it's been interesting. If you go back to the 90s, we had the AIDS and HIV, and the cartoons there you used to see was with dental team in spacesuit type things. And of course, we've actually seen that now. The best thing for me is, having been in the same practice for 50 years, is seeing patients. My oldest patient, who I've been treating, hopefully is going to make their 100th birthday in December. And you know, she is, well, She sort of regards me as an extra son. And I see her daughter and her granddaughter. And to me, that's what dental practice is about.
Yeah, of course. So are there any tips you would give people for going to the dentist if they're nervous or if they want some kind of guidance about what they should ask their dentist?
Never be afraid to ask. The dentist or the hygienist or the dental nurse are there to help you, and they're there to talk to you. They want you to know what you're going to get involved with. So don't be afraid to ask. They're not going to think you're silly. Just ask the question. You know, it's important that you do consent to the treatment.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think that really concludes our interview. As you guys may know, half term is very shortly coming up, and accidents can unfortunately happen. Do you have any tips for?
Yes, indeed. If unfortunately either you or one of your friends ends up getting a tooth knocked out, you should do the following. Pick it.
Lick it.
Stick it.
That's the thing to do. If you've got a broken tooth, if part of the tooth breaks off, take it back to the dentist, get some emergency care, and just follow those tips if you've actually had the tooth come right out. But most importantly, if you're playing sport, wear a gum shield. It saves an awful lot of aggravation for everybody.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. Hope that's been helpful.
Thank you very much for coming today, and that really concludes our interview with Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, so finally we have our new feature that we are calling And Finally.
Yeah, Chloe, did you know that cats gag when you rub the teeth on a comb?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they also jump when they see a cucumber.
That is so weird.
Yeah, and the reason behind the gagging is because cats, they're sensitive to the ultrasonic sound. So therefore, the high-pitched sound is causing them to gag. And with cucumbers, they think they're snakes.
That's stupid.
And if you don't believe us, just watch this. Play the VT, boys.
So somebody told me that if you rub your finger along the bristles of a comb in front of your cat, this will happen. Oh my god!
Okay, well that is it for today. Thanks for joining us. We've had a seriously good time, and we'll see you again soon on Seriously Good TV.